So everybody's comfortable living when everything's working right. But what happens when the power turns out on you? Are you guys gonna be able to survive 24 hours? 2 days? 1 week? A month? In this video, I'm gonna go over everything you might wanna have in a power outage, and hopefully this will help you guys out. Right now, especially here in Michigan, this is a very, very relevant topic because there is power outages still going on as we speak from a storm that just happened a couple days ago. A lot of people like to blow off power outages because they believe it's only gonna be about less than 24 hours, they'll last, everything's gonna be okay. But as I just said, there are people dealing now 3 to 4 days without power here in Michigan as we speak, so it's not always the case. And you always wanna make sure that you have some kind of prepared plan in here. And some things that I wanna show you guys in this video are things that you should have in case if your power goes out. I mean, a power outage is a big deal for us here. I mean, we have a fridge, one freezer, freezer number 2, and freezer number 3. So a power outage would definitely be a big thing that's gonna affect a lot of our food supply. That's where we'll start with this video is, if your power goes out, what's probably the #1 thing that you want? So a lot of you guys might already own like a generator, which generators and things of those nature, you can have a whole house generator that you have outside the house that'll power up once your power goes out. If you had just like a gas powered generator that you're filling up and just plugging a few things into to make sure that they have power, my helpers are coming in. One thing that we've definitely wanted on our list has been a very nice power station. So thanks to our friends at VANPOWERS, this is what I get to show you guys today, which I'm super excited about. This is a great alternative to using gas generators if that's what you don't want to use or just can't. This is something that you might want to look into. So let me explain some features here to why you might want to get one of these. The thing that's cool about this already is that there are so many different outputs here. So you're gonna see it has all your USB-C plugs right here. You have 2 100-watt ones and 2 20-watt ones. You're gonna have 3 DC ports here down at the bottom that are 136 watts. Here on the side, you're gonna have 6 different AC outputs, plus you have a car output right here. So those are all the different outputs that you can put into this. Now let's fire it up. Looking at this screen right here, you're gonna have an AC and a DC buttons on the screen, so you can press AC. It tells you how much your power you're using of your AC. We don't have any plugged in, so right now it's not doing anything. It'll switch over. It'll show you how much watts that you're using, and it'll display right here on the screen for when you're using it. So here, I'll show you guys a few test runs. So right here, I have just my iPhone charger. I'm gonna plug it in to one of those front outputs, and then you got this. You can see right now, it is not charging. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna plug it in, and now it is charging, and it shows how many watts that's using, and it's only using 17 watts. So it doesn't use a lot, obviously, to charge a phone. One thing about this is it is extremely heavy. I mean, if anyone's lifted a generator, generators are super heavy, so not as heavy as a generator. But a nice feature that they added to this is that it has like the suitcase handle and wheels, so that you can roll it to wherever you need to go. What are you gonna do when this dies though after charging it and using it for all those things? Your input section right here, it has your normal AC charging, so if you want to plug it into a wall, but if your power goes out, you won't be able to do that. That's where this one has an extra feature that you guys are gonna like. This comes with a whole big solar panel so that you can solar charge this unit as well. And while you're at it, why doesn't everyone say hi to Mr. Milo, who just tried to make sure that he was in the shot somehow. In a power outage, you're not gonna be able to plug it back into the wall to charge it back up. So the solar power gives you that option. Once your power station is dead, you can go back out and you can still use the sun to charge it back up and reuse it, which is an amazing feature on this that not all the power stations have. Plus it's very easy to put away. Folds right back up just like that. That took me about 5-10 seconds at most. It's folded back up, I can put it back in its case, so it's a nice easy thing to travel with. It has been a very good game changer for us here, and I think it's gonna be for you. If you would like one and you want 5% off your purchase, just use our code, which I'm gonna put below on the screen right now. I'm gonna put some links in the comments below, so check it out if you guys can. One of the next big things that people have a problem with and extended power outages that they're dealing with is food, water, and how you're cooking the food. So those are definitely very important things. What I mean by that is just having a supply of these extra on hand. So you want to have a lot of canned goods in your house just in case this is going to happen, or a lot of quick foods that only need water, things of that nature that are easy to cook. It's not going to need some kind of big meal planning or anything like that. These are just meals to get you by during the power outages. We have plenty of that here. We've been trying to stock up and buy a few extra every single grocery trip so that we can build that up here. And then what you do is after you hit a certain amount that you're comfortable with, you can use it and then just replenish it. So I don't think we're there yet. We're still just trying to buy a little bit extra at a time, but definitely what you want to do. Same thing with water. Us here, we live on well water, so when the power goes out, we lose our water. So we make sure that we buy extra bottles of water. We store them in our shed so that when we would ever need them, that we have all this extra water, and we just try to make sure that we get a case about every single grocery trip as well. And this will just give us that extra security just in case we have any long power outages, because we are a family of 5, plus we have animals. So that's a lot of living things that are gonna need water. So we wanna make sure that we definitely have enough of that on hand. Unfortunately, everything is run by electric here. So our stove is electric. Our water, like I said, will get shut off. Our heat is powered by electric, which we'll get into after this. So you need to either find things that you don't need to cook or a method of cooking these. So we have 2 methods that we would use here. One of our main sources for heating up food and really cooking it good is gonna be using our grill. If you don't have a grill and you always wondered what are you gonna do in a power outage if you don't have a gas oven, then get yourself a grill. And this is nice because obviously it has the burner feature over here. But what we would do is, we have a lot of cast iron pans and pots, so we could just put those directly. My rooster is gonna be making a lot of noise this whole time. You could just put them directly right onto the grill and just cook them that way. And then you can close it, and that would be able to trap in any of the heat and cook it up really good. As you can see, we have our one that's underneath, and we have a second propane tank. So we always keep an extra one, so we always make sure that we have one full tank. And just in case the power was to go out, plus our propane tank go empty, we have one completely full one that we know that we could do a lot of our cooking with. Another thing that we can use to cook here, and something that you guys can buy that's fairly cheap, I think we got this maybe on sale at Home Depot for like $50. It's called, you're probably gonna have to search turkey fryer, but if you look it up, we're gonna use this for when we process chickens here. But this is a method. It has one really big pot that you could fill up with water, and then it uses the propane to heat it up and give you flame so that it can heat up and get really hot. So this would be another good way that we can cook. I mean, we have full chickens in our freezer that we could roast in this thing, or you could just do like pastas or anything else that you would do on the stove in a pot. And this is another way to kind of get around in doing it. So as you guys know, we do have animals here as well that we need to take care of. So we need to make sure that when the power goes out, we also can sufficiently still take care of them. So this means the feed that we already have in the containers that we have outside next to our animals, we always make sure we have at least one bag of feed extra stored in a shed somewhere, so that if we couldn't leave the house or some kind of emergencies, we do have some extra feed. We always make sure that's replenished when we're about to use it. Whenever there is gonna be a big storm coming up, or we know that there's a big ice storm, snowstorm, thunderstorm that might lose power in, we make sure that we fill at least one 5-gallon bucket up of water, if not 2, so that we have extra water, because they need a lot of water. So now let's get into a few things. We got into how to have extra power and what to do with like food and water and cooking. Those are definitely some of the major survival things that you're gonna wanna do for when the power goes out. But let's get into a few of the things that you don't think about possibly. And we watched a video with White House on the Hill that showed this idea, and this is a good one. All right, it's gonna be kind of hard to fit you guys in here. It's not the biggest bathroom. You're not gonna be able to flush your toilet like normal that you're gonna want. Let me show you this fancy little thing that's really, really cheap. This is a cheap way of doing it that you can use. And here you have the 5-gallon bucket potty. So you could just set it up in your bathroom. Watch your fingers. You could just set it up in your bathroom like you always have your toilet in here. It's comfortable for being a 5-gallon bucket. Here, I'll show you. And all you would do is you would sit on this, go to the bathroom. You could have bags in here, whether you want to do a garbage bag of some sort. And then what we would do is, since we have a whole bunch of straw and wood chips on here all the time because of the animals that we own, is that we would keep like a bucket of those inside here or a bag of them. And after you would go to the bathroom, throw those on top to help mask the smell. Close the lid down, which will help mask the smell. And that's a way to go to the bathroom still when you can't flush your toilet. Any of the items that I'm talking about today, I am going to try to put in the description for you guys to find. These are not all sponsors. These are just things that we have around the house that we figured we'd be giving links to you guys so that if you want to look up and buy yourselves. So the 5-gallon potty, which you just buy the lid, and then the 5-gallon buckets, if you already have, then these fit all the normal 5-gallon buckets. You don't need to buy a special one, you just buy a lid for it. So next thing, maybe you live in an area like us that gets really cold, and this is the reason your power went out. You have a major snowstorm or major ice storm. So that would mean the inside of your house is probably super cold because the power's out, so now you don't have heat. So the next thing, like I said, heating source. During the winter time, it can get really cold, especially if there's no power. It's gonna be freezing in this house. So we have a safe indoor portable heater here. This is the brand, it's called the Big Buddy, and for anyone who's looking to look into one. And what's nice about this is it's a good size. It's gonna heat up a good portion of an area for like a room. We'd probably put it in just one room, close the door so that that room gets the heat, so that all that heat can be concentrated into one spot. The nice thing about it is, like I said, it's safe to use indoors, which is not like all the other ones. And they have 2 side ports, one on this side, one on the other side, where you're just gonna get these little portable propane tanks. Put one on one side, one on each side. So obviously you want a few extra of these ones, which right now we've already used a set of them, so this is our only set of these. So we're gonna have to go out and get more because this is the only set we have for it right now. You wanna look into maybe getting a wood fire stove inside your house, or if you already have a fireplace, then that's obviously a good way to do it. Right now, if the power went out, we'd definitely be using that power station from VANPOWERS for our incubator here. We are trying to hatch out chickens for the first time, and power going out would definitely be very awful for these eggs. Hopefully we don't gotta worry about it. One of the nice things that we would have going for us in any kind of power outage is that we would always have eggs coming in every single day. Thank you, chickens. Thank you. And that's definitely a big benefit. I mean, that's a nice protein source that we have every single day, guaranteed that these chickens are gonna lay. We would always have probably even about 2 meals worth that we could eat eggs if we needed to in any kind of times of need. Pigs, I got some good food for you. We had quite a bit of leftovers in the fridge, so pigs are gonna be extra happy. Be careful, be smart about these power outages. Everyone thinks it's not gonna hit them until it does. And like I said, there's people that now probably going on almost a week without power here in Michigan. And a lot of people always think it's up to a lot of other people to help save them. But it's up to you and your family to figure out what to do in these times. Obviously, having nice neighbors and a community to help is definitely a benefit. Not everybody's gonna have that luxury. So what are you going to do and what are you gonna have to help during these big extreme times that can happen where you're out for power for long periods of time? Hopefully this video will help people out. Hopefully it gave you guys a few tips and tools and things that you can get for when the power goes out. But hopefully you never have to use them. Have a great day and a better tomorrow, and we'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. Oh, leave it.
Did you do that?